Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. If you haven't already, let's go ahead and triangulate. I am Jane Galluzzi, Earth God, and welcome to Phoenix Protocol. We're talking a lot about allocation and how that can come in many forms, right? We have Universe God, which is really regulating the energy. And then we have within that resources, which are defined in many different ways. Some such resources might be water or food or money, right? I want to really make it clear the difference between those two things, right? So we have universal operating system, codename God, and it is regulating all energy within this universe. So we at Phoenix Protocol are teaching efficient use of energy, becoming an efficient coder, codename Angel, right? So within the context of that definition, you know, angels are basically very efficient at utilizing the energy that they have been allocated. They appreciate the resources that they get through that energy, which could include money, but it also could include any other resource, which is basically them receiving that energy. It could literally be energy to wake up that day, or it could be water to maintain the physical body, or it could be in the form of money. So we need to be very clear about what is a codename angel. They are efficient users of energy. So whatever resource is allocated to them, they are very appreciative of it and they use it efficiently. And in some cases, as they start to use their gifts and talents more and more, they are trusted with more energy to bestow upon others, acting as a regulator within the system, and them having so many resources, they're actually able to start allocating it themselves because they've earned so much trust in the system. So, this is a codename Angel. They are efficient users of energy. Now, let's talk more about the universal operating system of God, which is a universe is a blanket term for a defined amount of energy within it, right? So the universe known as God does contain planetary station Earth and you. So within that context, that's why people ask God for energy allocation and also resource allocation, because God is the code name for this universe, meaning it regulates and distributes all of the energy within it. So when you pray to God, you ask for a resource or energy allocation within that system, right? And you also, through triangulation, right? Codename you, codename planetary station, codename universe, you get the most up to date codes. Very important. Most up to date versions, basically breaking through compatibility issues, many, many things. So let's talk more about the difference between energy and a resource. I just want to define this very clearly because we really should be focusing on the fact that if we utilize our energy properly through our gifts and talents, which our gifts and talents are our compass that guide us, then we are going to have the energy allocation in the form of resource allocation, right? Because the energy is what is proliferated throughout the resources. And in many ways, that's how the energy comes to us, right? If you get a drink of water, you suddenly have more energy if you're thirsty. So that was a transfer of energy through the water as a resource, right? People focus on money a lot because it can buy them, this is 2025 Earth, it can buy them food, water, etc. So they just assume that if they have money, they can get every single resource. But we need to have a wider understanding of resources and how we can get those. Because there might be a place in time and space that does not require money. So you are now having to reorganize your thought process all of the sudden. We want to reorganize our thought process now. It's better and it's more efficient, and we are teaching the most efficient coding, codename Angel. Okay? So the way that you need to start thinking about things is resources, and that term resource is basically a redirection of source energy. That's why it's called a resource, right? And that's why we're saying energy, right? Some people use the synonym for God as source, which is improper coding. God is the name of this universe. The code name for this universe is God, not source. God is a source of energy, yes, but also other universes can claim that title. It's confusing. Please use the term God, code term God. So we have an amount of energy contained in the universe, codename God, which regulates and distributes based on if you are utilizing your gifts and talents, which will ultimately lead you at the end of your journey to your destiny and purpose, which is something that you will get to really understand once you leave this unique individual operating system, the being that you are. So to have your directive be, I'm going to go find my destiny and purpose, is very misleading. You want to follow your gifts and talents, those will guide you. And at the end of your life, you will have a complete capsule of what was your user experience. And that should encapsulate your destiny and purpose. It's a huge web of things. It's not just an award on stage. That would be appreciation for your gifts and talents. That would not be a destiny or purpose. And if you have that directive where you think that getting an award is going to be your destiny and purpose, well, you're going to have this weird energetic shift when you get that award because you're going to feel like you have no destiny and purpose, which just is not true. Your destiny and purpose will be made known to you once you leave this experience as this unique individual user, meaning it should not be something that drives you because it will ultimately happen no matter what. And you are supposed to use your gifts and talents to make sure that when you get there, you have this very phenomenal, appreciation for what you did here. Your gifts and talents are everything, and you should be using them all the time. And by doing that, you are serving your purpose. Okay. Does that make sense? I'm saying you should just inherently know by using your gifts and talents that regardless of what you are doing, you are living your destiny. You are serving your purpose. You should not be out there seeking it because it's not something to be sought. It's not something you can find. It's something that is revealed to you when you leave this unique individual operating system. So inherently finding it is just a waste of time, a waste of energy. That's not efficient energy use. That's not codename Angel. Okay. I'm teaching codename Angel. So basically, let's talk about, you have universe God that's in charge of energy distribution. And we have the term resource, meaning that it's a redirection of that sourceful energy. And it can come to you in many different ways, including 2025 Earth, money. It can include food. It can include water. It can include shelter. It can include a hug. It's a lot of different things. So when your mindset is all focused on one type of resource, it really is not a good way to think because it actually eliminates solutions in your mind. And say you were just dropped in the middle of nowhere and you were supposed to think of all of the solutions and all you could think about was money, but there was no money. You would have to really do a practice in understanding how to get resources and how to understand being creative and how to appreciate what you have. So, this hyper focusing on the money system is not allowing you to be the most creative, problem solving person that you are meant to be. And it's also not teaching you how to really trust the systems that you're in. There is an authentication process, which we discussed in other episodes, where you authenticate yourself. That's know thyself. You authenticate with the universe that you're in, the planetary station that you're in, right? And there's a level of trust between all of these things. So if you are bestowed resource, which is a redirection of the energy within this universe, and you're not using it in a way that's efficient, in a way that's appreciative, that is not efficient. That is not Codename Angel. So please start to reframe your mind around the term resource and understand that it contains every single redirection of sourcial energy that can be directed at you. So you need to appreciate every resource that is directed towards you because that is a gift for you so that you can now get this, so that you can do your gifts and talents. Does that make sense? A resource is a redirection of sourcial energy. It is a gift for you to perform your gifts and talents, which is your purpose and destiny here. I hope that has eliminated confusion because as we talk about allocation, it's important to know that allocation is resource, is the universe redirecting its energy so that you may get the gift of it, so that you may perform your gifts and talents. It's giving you a gift for your gifts. It's not often that we get the exact same word there. So it's trying to be very clear. You're getting a gift, a resource to perform your gifts. Because ultimately, that is what you are supposed to do. That is your purpose and destiny. So you've been designed to do that as a function here to help everything run smoothly. Your unique purpose and destiny, you have one. That's why you're here. So to feel like you don't have one, that must mean that you're not using your gifts. Because when you use your gifts, that's when you're in the flow and you'll feel a surge of energy when that happens. It's undeniable. If you feel like your energy is being drained, that means you're not using your gifts and talents. You should not feel that way if you are in the flow. Okay. So it's a huge sign that you're in an inefficient energy utilization cycle. And you can first start by triangulating to see if you have the most up to date versions, meaning mind, body, soul protocol, mind, body, soul triangulation protocol, unique operating system code name, planet, Terry, station, code name, universe, code name. Start there. And then when you see the energy, feel the energy, sense the energy, start trying things out and see where the energy flows that feels like something that is rewarding. That is literally going to give you a sign that you are utilizing your gifts and talents. And that is how the energy starts to flow, and your energy allocation will be utilized because it won't be bottlenecking because it's not in alignment with your function. If you're noticing that you have no energy or anything, that means that you're not performing your gifts or talents because you're having a bottlenecking issue. The energy is just not flowing. The energy is not flowing because that's not what you're supposed to be doing with that energy. It's been assigned to you for a certain reason. Okay? I hope that's clear. Thank you for being here. I love you very much, and I hope you have a beautiful